All right. Buenos días. Today is el 17 o el 18 de marzo, depending on when your class falls. Our objective today is to first review the places and the verb ir, and then we're going to start to use it in context. This will be a very useful lesson for you moving forward. We'll do more practice. However, this is similar to what you will do for part of your primary assessment. So try your best, get the practice now, engage with the content now. That way you can learn from your mistakes and you get better at it for the future. First, you will hear the vocab and grammar and context, and then you will write your own sentences. So that's what we're doing today. Next class, because it's always good to know why you're learning something and where we're going. Next class, you'll write more sentences for a grade. So during today's class, make sure you're listening for how the vocab is used in context and interesting and different types of things you can say to demonstrate how well you know the vocab. All right, get this out of my way. Okay, so to go over the vocab or the tarea from last class, I will do a quick flash of the answers. Pause the video if you need more time. All right, so hopefully you got those all correct. However, if you have questions, please share those with me, or maybe if you would like something specific checked, need an explanation, whatever it may be, feel free to share that with me. Okay, so moving on to some new practice. We have a práctica de vocabulario. So open up your 3A verbs vocab list and go ahead and try to identify which vocab word is being described on 1 through 6. You're going to pause that here, get your answers together, and then there will be a space for you to write your answers. Okay, so now that you have filled in your answers, let's go over it. So, número uno, sinónimo de manejar. So last unit you had manejar con cuidado, which is to drive with caution. So here you have sinónimo, a synonym of manejar, which would be conducir. Manejar, conducir. Conducir, manejar. Número dos, you have observar una colección de arte o cosas históricas. So observar is a cognate, right? It looks like the word English, or the word observe in English. So to observe una colección, so that's also a cognate, a collection. So to observe or look at a collection of arte, art, o cosas históricas, historical things. So that would be ver la exhibición, right? Like when you go to the museum and you see a collection of art from a specific artist, or you go to, I don't know, a history museum and you see a bunch of artifacts from an ancient society, okay, right? That would be to ver la exhibición. Next, we have tomar un cheque al banco y salir con dinero en efectivo. So, that one would be cobrar el cheque, to cash check. So if you recall, tomar always means to take. Tomar el metro, to take the subway. Tomar agua, to take, as in to take in or drink water. Tomar medicina, to take medicine, right? So tomar is always to take. So tomar un cheque, to take a check. Al banco, to the bank. Y salir con dinero en efectivo. Now you might want to write this down. You will, if you're ever traveling or somewhere where people are authentically speaking in Spanish, you might hear the word en efectivo, which is a very good word to know because it means cash. And who doesn't like cash, right? Although some places don't like cash, but and some places only like cash. But these are all asides. Número 4, usar los ojos para encontrar algo. So to use your eyes to encontrar, you had that before. Remember, like to encounter something, to find. That would be buscar. Hablar con Dios. That would be rezar, to speak with God. And then tomar dinero del cajero automático. That would be sacar dinero. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the listening comprehension portion of today's lesson. Remember, the purpose of you doing this is for you to have the chance to hear the vocab in context, so that way when you're asked to elaborate on the words, you know what other types of things you could say. For those of you who possibly feel the desire to run to a translator when you are asked to write elaborate or detailed sentences, here is where you see what you can use from previous lessons and previous units. So that way you don't have to go to that translator and you see, oh, okay, I know some of these words and I could put this together myself. So here is your chance to see how to put things all together from throughout the year, okay, to apply previously learned vocab. You will need your notebook. So both vocab lists should be written there. You'll also want that so that you can take notes during the stories. You will have to take notes. And your notes on ir, to go in the preterite. So cuenta número 1. You will hear a story about what Lionel did in the city. Okay? The cuenta will be in Spanish. After, you will be asked various questions and you will need to respond. In order to do so accurately, you must take notes or translate the story as you hear it. You will not have the access to the story in front of you during the questions, which is why it's so important to take notes. Okay, so let's begin. Primero, Lionel condujo al banco. Remember, you can pause the video as necessary. Segundo, él sacó dinero. Después de sacar dinero, él se reunió con un amigo. Ellos fueron a la estación de tren. El tren llegó a la estación. Lionel y su amigo subieron el tren. El tren cruzó el puente y llegó a la ciudad a las 5:30. Primero, Ellos fueron al museo y vieron la exhibición de Frida Kahlo. Frida Kahlo es una artista muy famosa. Ellos aprendieron sobre su arte y su vida. Es decir, Lionel y su amigo aprendieron sobre el arte de Frida y la vida de Frida. Afuera del museo, ellos sacaron una foto. Luego, ellos visitaron una mezquita donde rezaron. Al final, ellos tomaron el autobús para regresar a sus casas. All right, there you have story number 1, and now you will have the questions. Okay, moving right along to story number 2. Once again, you will hear a story. This time it is about someone named Eliana, about what she did in the city. After, once again, you'll be asked various questions and you'll need to respond, so be sure to take notes and translate bits of the story as you hear them. Story cuenta número 2, here we go. Para su cumpleaños, la abuela de Eliana la envió un cheque personal. La abuela de Eliana envió un cheque personal a Eliana. El cheque llegó a la casa de Eliana. Para celebrar su cumpleaños, Eliana se reunió con sus amigas. Primero, Eliana cobró el cheque y sus amigas sacaron dinero al banco. Luego, ellas viajaron a una ciudad italiana, Milán. En Milán, ellas fueron de compras. Eliana buscó zapatos y una chaqueta. Después, ellas tomaron el autobús a Roma. Luego, ellos visitaron una iglesia donde rezaron. Al final, ellas aprendieron la historia de los romanos al Coliseo y al Panteón. Okay, now that you've answered those questions about Eliana, we will move on to a new type of activity. This is a written activity, okay? So now the transfer is, instead of us giving you the vocab in context, now you're going to give us the vocab in context, okay? So next class, you're going to write a story about someone's trip to the city. So in order to prepare for this, you are going to submit some practice sentences. That way we can see how you're doing before it's a grade, right? Okay, so on Google Classroom, you have a chart. You should use the chart, which looks like this, down the bottom. You'll use the chart to properly format your sentences by following the format below. So you'll always start with a subject, which, as you can see, is the first column. Then you will always use ir, the verb for to go, conjugated in the preterite tense. Then, since you're saying someone went, you have to say to the, right? Someone went to the blank. And then you will fill it in with a vocab word. So-and-so, so we have so-and-so, went to the, now these are your 4 different ways to say to the in Spanish. And remember, it depends on what this place is. El supermercado, la fuente, right? And then from this explicación section, explanation, you will pick a logical extension. So, subject, ir, conjugated in the preterite tense, to the, plus a place, logical extension. So let's do one together. All right, so let's pick a subject, any subject. Now, if you see a blank like this, that means there's something for you to fill in on your own. So my friend, mi amigo, blank, y yo. Well, mi amiga Laura y yo. Okay, so if the subject of the sentence is mi amiga Laura y yo, we need we need the form of ir conjugated in the preterite. Well, mi amiga y yo would be like nosotros, we, right? So the form of ir would be fuimos. Nosotras fuimos. Or mi amiga Laura y yo fuimos. Now we want to pick a place. Well, let's see. A place I really like is the airport. Okay? So we went to the airport. So a for to. Now we have to fill in what the right form of to the would be. Well, if it's el aeropuerto, it would be a el aeropuerto. But wait, remember that sounds kind of funny, so we're actually going to make the contraction al, which gives us al aeropuerto. So now, mi amiga Laura y yo fuimos al aeropuerto. So now we have to find something logical from this portion. Well, let's see here. We could say that, and that's possible. Probably wouldn't buy party clothes at an airport. We probably wouldn't practice religion at an airport, although you could, maybe if you were really nervous. Para viajar en avión a blank. Well, once again, this is another one with a blank, so we have to fill it in with something on our own. So we're just going to copy para viajar en avión, because remember, you don't conjugate after para, and then fill it in with something that's logical. Para viajar en avión a la República Dominicana. So now we have our much better sentence than just a basic sentence. We have mi amiga Laura y yo fuimos al aeropuerto para viajar en avión a la República Dominicana. So there you have it. This is what you will do for the remainder of this activity. Take your time. Remember to go step by step. Step, subject. Next, ir, conjugated, followed by format of to, the, and your place of choice. Okay? Followed by finding a logical extension. Remember, if you go straight across, it probably won't make sense. All right, good luck. Be ready for feedback so that way you can learn and improve for your more important graded assignment.